It began with history.
And it's sustained by political regimes that benefit from separation.
But culture is what truly cements that division today.
To understand why Korea is divided, we have to go back, farther than 1950. Japan's brutal colonization of Korea from 1910 to 1945 disrupted national sovereignty, suppressed Korean identity, and left a deep wound. But when Japan surrendered, Korea didn't get its independence. It got a foreign-imposed division. The United States and the Soviet Union split the peninsula at the 38th parallel, not because Koreans wanted it, but because it served Cold War interests. The Korean War didn't cause the division, it locked it in.
But that division wouldn't have lasted without politics reinforcing it. It wasn't just foreign powers, it was also domestic regimes consolidating their hold on power. In the north, the Kim dynasty built an entire state on self reliance, militarism, and absolute control. In the south, authoritarian governments did the same for decades, just with the capitalist mask. Both sides constructed their enemy to justify their power. That is not history, that is a power play.
But what people actually feel and live goes beyond government, because culture is the real world. North and South Koreans now speak differently, think differently, and even laugh at different jokes. They've been raised on opposite ideas on stories and even religious views. Yes, politics enforces division, but culture normalizes it. According to a survey conducted by South Korea's Institute of Korean Language in 2016, around 40% of North Korean defectors reported experiencing discrimination due to their accent or even lexical choices. When a North Korean suffers this mockery, it's not about ideology, it's about identity. This leads them to adapt, using resources like language training, which only reinforces a hierarchical internalized view of South Korean accents as the standard and North Korean accents as lack of prestige, a non-standard variant of Korean. North Korean defectors refuse to reveal their identity and origin, resulting in an isolating and marginalized experience for them.
Still, that identity fracture didn't happen overnight. It was seated in colonization and weaponized during the Cold War. The United States and the Soviet Union didn't just split a country, they split a people. The longer that division lasted, the more cultural divergence grew. But without that historical moment of partition, these political cultural systems wouldn't even exist.
Yet, history alone does not explain why the division survives today. If it were historical inertia, Germany would still be divided. What keeps Korea divided is that both governments benefit from the status quo. North Korea uses the South for its failures as a scapegoat. South Korea uses the North to justify military spending and US military presence. Reunification, it's politically convenient.
And yet, culture leaks through. The experience differently in each country, media propaganda is employed by both to shape national identity and perception. Despite censorship, North Koreans secretly consume South Korea's massive media known as Korean Wave as a coping mechanism. It's not diplomats that challenge North Korea's imposed ideologies, it's K-pop stars and K-dramas. When a cultural exchange lacks empathy, the process of integration and adaptation turns into patterns of discrimination, just as North Korean defectors have experienced. Nowadays, they don't just escape a regime, they lose their cultural belonging. Although the South Korean government offers help to North Korean defectors in things like housing and healthcare, cultural gaps and conflicts persist between North Koreans and South Koreans.
Which is why the South's treatment towards defectors matters. If it really wanted reunification, it would not marginalize its own citizens from the North. The state says, we are one people, but its policies say otherwise. And yes, assimilation programs exist, but the social stigma persists. Unity isn't just about opening borders, it's also about changing minds.
And those minds were shaped by historical trauma. From the massacres during the Korean War to the separation of millions of families, history left emotional scars that no peace treaty can heal. You can't erase 70 years of fear and indoctrination without reckoning with the past. So what's the real cause of the division? For me, it's the moment Korea was split by foreign powers, a historical wound that still bleeds.
I say it's political regimes, authoritarian, strategic, and relentlessly self-preserving that keep the division alive, not by accident, but because it serves their grip on power. Division is not a side effect, it is a deliberate tool. The more fractured a nation is, the easier it is to control.
And I believe the cultural split is now so deep that even if the border disappeared tomorrow, unification wouldn't mean unity.
Korea isn't just divided by a border. It's divided by history, power, and identity.
And unless all three are addressed, reunification will remain an idea.
Never a reality.